Hello, Freight Masters, and thank you for joining me today. Today, we are going to look at how AI is changing the way freight brokers and carriers operate. It's kind of some interesting stuff. We know that technology is catching up in our industry, and this is in no way a sponsored video or anything. It was just something that I came across the other day that I thought was pretty interesting that I would like to share with you, and we'll get into it right after this. Okay, so you've heard me talk about Operfi on the show from time to time, and we've even had the pleasure of having Tom and Danny from Operfi on the show. But did you also know that Operfi offers a fuel card, same day instant payments with their tank card? You get factoring rebates when you submit an invoice. Each time you spend on the tank card on things like fuel, corporate expenses, and even ATMs, you earn a bigger rebate. There's also no bank holiday restrictions. Operfi also offers a training academy, veteran discounts, free 24/7 credit checks, a huge vendor network, and more. They also don't have any minimums or long-term contracts. Once you're onboarded, you'll be educated on Operfi's processes and how they work to grow your operation. Click the link in the description below. You'll thank me later. Okay, we're back. Okay, so I came across an article about this new technology called Happy Robot, and basically what it is it's an AI powered platform designed to automate and enhance communication within our industry. It's basically like an AI agent or an assistant, whatever you want to call it, that understands logistics, right? And it sounds amazingly human. Brokers can use it to handle carriers' sales calls, check calls, POD collections, things like that. It integrates with numerous TMS platforms. There's already many brokerages that are starting to use it, like Schneider. Ryder is another one that's using it. There's many out there that are doing it. And it's automatically basically pulling data. It negotiates rates, confirms details, sends updates, all of that kind of thing. This person, Pablo, basically stated during an interview that when dispatchers call in, they don't even realize that they're talking to AI, right? For brokers, and this is called Happy Robot, by the way, in case I didn't mention that a moment ago. It acts as basically an extra set of hands for brokers, right? And so it can handle repetitive tasks. The AI doesn't get distracted. It doesn't get annoyed, right? It just kind of works for you. Apparently, a lot of carrier sales reps love it because it takes a huge chunk of the repetitive, time-consuming calls off of their, out of their day, basically letting them focus on more strategic parts of their job, right? Like, making cold calls, things like that. And Happy Robot's vision kind of goes beyond efficiency. They stated that they want to make the workforce happier, working fewer crazy hours, but getting more done, right? And I, as a quick side note, I think that, this is kind of going to be the way things are going. I've stated over the years that our industry in particular always sort of hasn't either embraced technology or we've been behind to some extent, but we're catching up, right? And I think that there's a lot of tech companies out there that are sort of recognizing that, looking at obviously the size of our industry and going, well, yeah, we'll accommodate them. A lot of people are, encouraged to embrace a lot of the new technology, basically as a partner, utilizing it regularly, and using it to kind of basically achieve more, not replace you, but help you become more efficient and achieve more, right? So Um, Circle Logistics is using it as well, and has stated that it has reduced the number of calls handled by people um, about 80 to 100% uh, across all use cases. Okay, and this thing is pretty smart, right? They've basically fine-tuned its AI voice to sound lifelike while mastering logistics-specific jargon, right? So, like, it can recognize different words like Conestoga or reefer, okay, and respond appropriately, right? And it's kind of on the fly, right? There's not like a long pause in between. You can actually customize the voice and even clone it, okay, to use your voice. Um, it's expanding the way it's expanding to handle emails, messages, and more, making it truly kind of a multi-channel assistant. Okay, um, and because it's AI, right? It's basically a tool. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't need coffee breaks or anything. Um, so uh, brokers can utilize customizable. Oh, I'm sorry, I got into the wrong part of my notes here. Um, but yeah, as AI gets to be more and more prominent in our industry, um, this is a tool that's sort of leading the charge, right? And it basically not only saves time, like I said, but enhances how brokers, carriers, and warehouse houses work. Um, they've secured funding uh, to make this happen. Uh, let's see, where am I at with my? But yeah, what are your thoughts on utilizing AI? The one thing I will tell you is that, like, I did go to their website, and this is sort of a pet peeve of mine, is not the transparency in pricing, right? If you've ever looked at a new service or um, tool, that you want to utilize, and they want you to book a demo, right? So they can kind of sweet talk you into, you know, signing up for their service. That's the one thing I absolutely hate. Um, let me see if it's going to be affordable for me, especially if you're like a new or a newer brokerage, right? You probably don't have the budget for all the fancy tools and services and things that are out there right now. So letting them, but you might be intrigued or very interested in something like this, right? So having that transparency and pricing on their website is, I think, one of those things that, at least to me, like, I'd rather know up front, like, is this something in my budget? Is this something that I can, set time aside for, to talk to someone and have them run through their system and show me this and all the little bells and whistles and things, right? Because time is one of those things that we can never get back, right? To me, time is, again, for me, time is just far more valuable than money or anything, right? So I hate that book a demo thing. Um, but I don't know. Maybe you guys like it. Maybe you're like, hey, yeah, talk to me. I don't mind it. But yeah, this thing apparently integrates with, like, like I said, a lot of the TMS softwares and things like McLeod, Turbo. It integrates with DAT, Highway, HubSpot, all kinds of stuff. Your Ring Central, Truck Stop, all kinds of stuff, right? I'm not going to go through the entire list, but it's kind of interesting. And I know that there's a lot of people that, AIs can be kind of scary, right? If it malfunctions or whatever, and it doesn't matter whether it's in our industry or, just in general. Um, and I know that there's been a lot of discussion across the internet and in things about, it doesn't really have many limitations. It doesn't look like, and or it won't. And but a lot of people are sort of afraid, like this can be dangerous, right? I think that we've already seen how it can change, create video, images, voice, and things that can be altered, and talking about the use of it for criminal activity and things. One thing I would like to see that wasn't mentioned is how can this be utilized more for carriers as well, right? So, and here we go again with the transparent pricing. If you're an owner operator, a small fleet owner, what is the cost difference between utilizing something like this if it could source maybe better paying loads, for you, because it already works with truck stop and DAT, etc., right, on the load board. So could it search and source loads for you? What is the cost difference between utilizing something like this versus an independent dispatcher if you're using one, right? And we all know that a lot of those independent dispatchers are basically just illegal brokerages, right? They don't have authority. Back in the day, independent dispatchers, were on the up and up. They were pretty much legit, but now they kind of ride that gray area, right? And some are just blatantly they're basically double brokering, right? And they're getting away with it because it's the enforcement on it has not been strong enough, at least not in my opinion. But I would like to see some of this stuff being designed and made for carriers, right? Or even if you're a large carrier, right? Like if you're a large fleet, you're probably running a lot of dedicated freight and stuff. But like, sometimes you need, or let's say you're a medium-sized fleet even, you have plenty of outbound, and let's say 10% of your trucks, you're reaching out to the spot market to find return loads, right? Or the nasty word backhaul, right? So it'll be interesting to see if maybe this Happy Robot platform kind of expands and starts to make this, and maybe they do, and I just didn't see it. If you know more about this than I do, please leave me a comment below or point me in the right direction. But yeah, I would like to see how this can be, or something similar, be put to use for carriers, right? So, it could learn what your break-even point is, right? And maybe it can handle submitting your processing and submitting your invoices to your factoring company, right? So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how a lot of this technology sort of evolves and it gets utilized in things. I think, some of it's sort of exciting. I think, I don't know. I'm not really a big tech guy, but from what I see on the surface, like I said, I kind of like it. I would use it. I'm probably going to look into it. I just wish that, again, they didn't have the whole book a demo thing, right? If it's going to cost me $11 a minute to use this thing, you know what I mean? I'll probably just stick to pen and pad and, keep doing things by hand. But if it's going to cost me, 10 cents a call or something, and it handles 100 calls a day for me, why not? So it, I would rather know that up front. So, but that's just me. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Leave me a comment in the descriptions down below. Because this is sort of my opinion. I'm not real big on the whole AI thing. As far as understanding it fully. What I read, I do kind of like, but let me get your opinion. Should we maybe not embrace all technology that comes to our industry? Maybe you're seeing some potential dangers in it that I'm not seeing. or some other ways that it could be utilized, right? Let me know if there's something, hey, I would like to see them do this, I love getting everybody's different opinions, different aspects on things. So, okay, well, with that, I guess I will close this out. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Till next time, as always, be kind to one another. Bye-bye now.